But let's stray away from Howie Mandel. We're running out of time. I want to go into some of these current events. We got Joe Rogan. He's responsible. He was one of the co-founders of the company Onnit. Onnit was doing supplements. They had this brand of supplements called Alpha Brain, right? And Joe Rogan, he's shilling this stuff around town. He's talking about it left and right. He's got ads and all these things playing on Instagram. I'm scrolling through Instagram. I can't get 5 fucking posts without seeing Onnit. This guy talking about Alpha Brain. This stuff's cognitive memory out the wazoo. You're going to be the sharpest. You're going to be the fucking smartest guy in the room. This guy is fucking selling these pills left and right. And people are ingesting this stuff. The funny thing is, he never talks about it on his podcast. Every now and then, you hear him talk about it on his podcast. Very sparingly. When people bring up the supplements, you would think that if this guy really felt that strongly about his product, he would be advertising it on his podcast. He's advertising BetterHelp. He's advertising fucking these fucking glasses. He's advertising Raycons, the earbuds. We just got done talking about Ray J. Shout out to Ray J. But he doesn't talk about this brand that much on his podcast. Very sparingly, he does this. So now Onnit is facing a class action lawsuit because people are finding out that the pills don't actually do anything. You know? So let's check out the article first. You'll see it right there. It's written, folks. The headline says, Joe Rogan-backed pharma company is being sued for peddling health supplements with false advertising. So now let's scroll down and read a little bit of this article here. You're going to see, folks, this is not pretty. This is not pretty because people trust this guy for their health information. And mind you, I'm a big fan of Joe Rogan. I still listen to his show. I don't know if I'm going to buy any more health products related to him selling them, but I still listen, you know. So a lawsuit has been filed against a health supplement company co-founded by controversial podcast host Joe Rogan over misleading advertising that one of its products actually works to improve brain function. This is what he's been saying. Onnit, it's the number one. Onnit, which the lawsuit notes was co-founded by Rogan, who promotes the product on his controversial podcast, the Joe Rogan Experience. Let me tell you right now, he doesn't do it a lot, ladies and gentlemen, very sparingly, was sold to Unilever in 2021. So neither Rogan nor his podcast are named as defendants in the complaint obtained by the Independent. Now, I just skipped ahead a little bit because I want you guys to hear that piece of information first. That's very important. That Joe is not being named as one of the people who has to defend himself in this lawsuit. It's solely on the company. Now, what are they being sued for? The suit claims that the supplement performed no better than a placebo in most of the tests in a clinical study. As a matter of fact, in many cases, the placebo worked better than the actual product. So, basically, this guy has been shilling these pills, saying that they will make you smarter, faster, stronger. It's like a limitless pill. This guy is advertising. Now, mind you, he doesn't talk about it a lot on the show. Most of the advertisements, and I watch his show, I listen to all of them. Very sparingly, he talks. 3.5 hours, this guy might mention Onnit once every 4 episodes, maybe. None of the advertisements on the podcast are for Onnit. They're all for different brands. Any of the advertisements you see are going to be while you're scrolling through Instagram, while you're scrolling through Facebook. You might see a YouTube short, TikTok, something like that. Now, why did I tell you that he's not involved in the class action lawsuit first? Why did I tell you that piece of information first? Because those ads were going out so goddamn hard, and he was part of the company. Now, while those ads were getting pumped and these clinical tests that were not being performed yet, he's raking in money. He's getting all of this money. Yes, it's a lot of money. A lot of money there, folks. He's getting all of it. He hasn't sold the company yet. And then, he's got business advisors and they're telling him, hey, eventually we're going to have to clinically test this thing, right? We're good to sell it for now. We got all the gears turning for now, but eventually we're gonna have to clinically test this thing. So what would anybody do in that kind of situation before the clinical tests get brought up? You sell the company, right? You sell the company so that when these tests do come about and you know your product is bullshit, you're not held liable for any of that. So now this company Onnit is owned by another company called Unilever, and Joe Rogan is free of all of it. He does not have to deal with any of that shit.
Smart.
Right? But what is real, you see, the Onnit pills were not real, but what is real, what is very much real, is all of the money that Joe made off of you before the clinical test came out. So that's just, I had to bring that up, folks, because this is a very big name in entertainment here. This is Joe Rogan Experience here. And apparently the experience is not real. So everybody, we got to know about this kind of stuff, folks. We got to know about this stuff. It's very important if you're ingesting this stuff. I mean, you heard the article. You're better off taking sugar pills than taking Joe Rogan. Okay? So what are we doing here? What are we even doing? Let's go back to the show. I want to check out some of these other current events. Oh no, let's actually, I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's watch this advertisement. Let's see how hard he was pushing this stuff. Look at this.
Alpha Brain is one of the most important supplements that I've ever found ever in my life, if not the most important one, and the one that I cherish the most. Anytime I have to use my memory, anytime cognitive function is important, which is most of the things that I do, I use Alpha Brain constantly. Alpha Brain is up to 30%
Look, we don't even have to watch the
during
rest of it. I'm good. This guy's like, take the Alpha Brain. You'll be able to make things float with your mind. You're going to be able to do all sorts of awesome stuff. You'll think faster, stronger, smarter. It's all bullshit, folks. You gotta pay attention to this stuff. You gotta do your research. Remember that.